That's right, the title is not clickbait. My second channel, which I started going serious about half a year ago, is performing so much better than my main channel in terms of average viewership. Look at what's happening on Kaka TV2. If you don't know, yes, we have a second channel where we exclusively content English dubbed anime / children's cartoons. And there's a whole idea that I had, setting out with this. But notice how every viewership, bro, 8,000, 5K on a low part, 7K. If anytime there's this character you see in this thumbnail known as Ryuga shows up, the viewership goes fucking crazy. So essentially, this is the mindset. Have you ever noticed that when you look at like Naruto reactions, right? When you look for reaction channels that gets a lot of views, FlexiJ Anime is actually a perfect example. If you guys don't know about her channel, don't worry about it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this channel is very smart in utilizing the algorithm to focus on one specific niche. Notice how there is a heavy emphasis on Naruto. And of course, she's an attractive woman and the battle shonen audience has a lot of horny kids, and there is definitely a play into it. You'll notice that a lot of these successful channels, which are primarily girls, heavily focus on battle shonen because the demographic actually aligns perfectly with, she's eye candy. But beyond that, beyond the attractiveness, right, which gets the people coming in, if the content, the personality is good, they'll stick around. If you look at her growth, it is unbelievable. It is actually unbelievable how much she's popped off, right? Bro, she averaging 3.5 fucking mils per a month right now, which is insanity, right? That's double my fucking channel. She's got almost 100K subs. And notice this, when was the account created? Last year. Within a single fucking year, she's almost at 100K subs with 3.5 mil viewership. This is stupid level of success. How many channels take an entire year to barely get to 1,000 subs? And you'll notice that a lot of struggling anime reaction channels, they focus on so many seasonal anime, right? A very easy way to check this out is, I don't know, let's say Dan reaction compilation, right? When you look at these compilations, I bring it up because obviously they can only pull up these recordings where the entire reaction is shown, which means that these channels don't really edit their content and they're mostly just like sometimes they rip it off of Patreon too. But what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of channels that struggle because they only cover weekly seasonal content. But notice how FlexiJ Anime does not do that at all. She focuses heavily on Naruto, but obviously we'll check out Dan, which is a great pivot plan. And essentially what I'm trying to say is channels that focus on one topic only will succeed so much faster in the YouTube algorithm. Why? Because the algorithm cares about who their audience is. Every video of Naruto she posts will continuously be sent to that audience who enjoys Naruto. Let's compare that to my main channel. And I know this the best because I've struggled. I was that fucking idiot that spent like 2 years getting no viewership. Because what was I doing? Covering random ass weekly shows. Everyone that cares about this don't care about this. Everyone cares about this don't care about this. Everyone cares about this don't care about this. The worst thing you can do is put your eggs in so many different baskets because intuitively you're thinking, if I cover as many diverse series as possible, people will find me through the search engine. No, absolutely not. And this is the counterintuitive logic that every reaction channel upon starting fails. Because they heavily diversify their content, there is no audience. It's a bunch of tourists coming in and going out, and sometimes you will get carried by trends like Classroom of the Elite. Sometimes there are shows that will just clutch for you, but when that trend dies down, what do you have? You got fucking nothing. And after analyzing the success of many channels, and this is just one channel, right? If we just look at like One Piece reactions, you'll notice that these One Piece reaction channels, right? They succeed so hard because they only cover One Piece. You know what I mean? So using that idea and logic, I decided, fuck it. In my second channel, I am gonna do one topic only, but it wasn't only Beyblade in the beginning. I was trying to fish because I'm like, what's trending right now? I noticed that Has-Been Hotel was popping up about 9 months ago when I took this channel seriously. And it wasn't, the viewership really wasn't there. And I think that everything changes, and look at this. Has-Been Hotel, nothing really, right? You got Hell of a Bus, nothing really, right? And then we tried to do Gravity Falls at some point, and it was kind of better, but something significantly changes right here. 32,000 views. What happened? I led in with the Beyblade reaction. And let me show you the analytics here behind the screen. This is my second channel reactions analytics right now. We're going to look at the lifetime viewership of this. And can you tell when everything changed? It's very easy. All of this shit is me fucking around with Has-Been Hotel, Hello Boss, Gravity Falls. Boom. June 8th, the algorithm hits. What does that mean? It means that such a wide appealing video like opening reactions for a specific series, it will do well. The idea here is that it's very easily watchable content. Nobody has to watch the entire episode reactions, but an opening, music reactions are something people love. And the best way to jumpstart a reaction channel to get into a specific niche of audience is to do an opening. And then I struck gold. Boom. The average viewership then changed significantly. 5,000 views. It's a bit skewed because obviously these videos are like 5 months old. Therefore, it's been accruing viewership more and more as my channel grows, right? So in the beginning, it wasn't like that. But as the channels grow, more people here, right, coming in will then go to the old videos and watch those too. And notice this, right? Look at the difference of Gravity Falls and Beyblade, a low performing one. 400 versus 3.6. It's not even fucking funny. And then I posted this video. In this video, I said, listen, the algorithm has hit. The YouTube gods have basically given me to the Beyblade audience. If I keep covering Gravity Falls or other topics, I'm gonna get a fragmented audience. The best thing I can do for myself is to focus on one specific series. And then I said, all right, let's go do it. I also did a Beyblade JP openings just to double dip on the opening reaction for fun, but that was also great. And then ever since then, it's only been Beyblade. Beyblade, Beyblade, Beyblade. And because I'm so focused, right? Because I'm so focused on one specific topic, the algorithm is confident. Every video I upload is a fucking banger to the algorithm. So many positive signals. But this is an impossible thing to do when you're running my channel, Kaka TV. And here is the thing. My main channel, because we're watching so many different shows, the average viewership will suffer. It's going to be harder to utilize the recommendation system to grow because of how many fragmented people there are. While there may be 25,000 people subscribed and a lot of them are dead, they're not all watching the same shit. They're very different. A lot of them are isekai enjoyers, but even in isekai, some people don't like specific types of isekai. But the difference to this channel is that despite us only having barely 3,000 subs, right? I'm able to average viewerships like this because every one of these dudes are just Beyblade enjoyers. The recommendation system now scales your video at a greater scale. And that's why the average viewership is so high. But here's also the other thing. I can't keep making Beyblade reactions. And this is the interesting part. Right now, we are about to finish. We basically finished. This is the end of Beyblade Metal Fury. Basically, there's this 3 seasons of Metal Saga that we finished over the last half a year. And now I need to pivot my content. This gets scary because whatever show we're going to watch next may not align with the interest of people who watch these shows, right? And that's where your community comes in. You are going to take a hit no matter what when the oil well dries up for that specific show you're farming. And in terms of getting the recommendation system out to those audiences and scaling your videos to get this kind of viewership, right? The strategy is to focus on one thing. That is true. The negative aspect of this is that once the oil dries up, will these people that were watching me for Beyblade watch me for something else? That is when that's when everything changes. And this is why my main channel is so good, because my main channel, I am not focused on one specific series. I'm not dependent on ReZero. I'm not dependent on Dan Da Dan. I'm not dependent on Railgun, Apothecary Diaries. I'm dependent on the community that I've created over the last 2 years on this channel. Because of that, I can simply poll. And ask you guys, what do you guys want to watch? And we go off of your interest. And because of this, this main channel is very sustainable. I can also pump out so many more videos. I upload on average 8 videos a day, which roughly results in 1.4-ish mil views per month. Even though my average viewership is fucking trash, Right now, the average viewership is somewhere between 2 to 3K. I think this is a pretty good representation of what the average viewership should be. A community series, I think that's perfect, right? Assassination Classroom is a show that's not even airing right now, but because my audience pulled it in, we were doing well with it. 3K is about the roughly average viewership, and sometimes with trends, it's gonna hit a little bit higher, like 8K. But despite the average viewership being so low, I can hit 1.5 mil views. And I'm sorry, Echidna, for doing this again, but let me compare myself to Echidna, which is a ReZero channel that I love. They're great, they make great content. I'm so appreciative of their content. But notice how, even though these channels get so many fucking views that I can't even fathom on an average viewership level, I get more monthly viewership than them. This is what I want to show you. Because when you have a huge backlog library of content and a community so strong that they're willing to watch whatever, that content creator watches, you can get way more views, even if your average viewership is trash. And here's the tricky thing of Echidna's channel and let's say my Beyblade channel. ReZero it's done until February. These channels that are dependent on one single thing dies off so quick because they're beholden on the trend rather than the community they've created. In a similar situation, my Beyblade channel, what am I gonna do after, right? Well, that's why you have to keep asking people, right? Luckily for me, there is still more Beyblade seasons regarding different sagas. Let's say Shogun Steel, which we're gonna watch next, and Burst, which is gonna be lasting for another, years plus. And we're gonna do fine. But I just wanted to show you that, like, the strategies that are involved in reaction channels. At the end of the day, my main channel is a horizontal scaling variety channel. I can make my content based on anything, and I can continuously pump out videos like this. But I can't do that with this channel. The second channel is a vertical scaling channel. One specific topic, focusing on accuracy rather than sheer volume of content. And just because I get this kind of viewership doesn't mean I can keep cranking out this kind of videos. I can't, there's not enough Beyblade content to keep milking it, right? So, and that's the same thing with Echidna. You can't keep milking. If it was so easy to get this kind of viewership, they'd be pumping out 8 videos a day just like me. But that's the thing, they can't. These are the pros and cons of, vertically invested channels versus horizontal invested channels. And at the end of the day, I think that it's better long-term sustainability to be this horizontal variety channel. Because I'm not gonna lie, it gets a bit suffocating when you can only watch one thing and that's all your channel is. Beyblade is still fun, it's great, but there's so much diversity in my main channel that I can just continuously pump out whatever I want. Everything is the identity of my channel is no longer anime reactions. It's a personality commentary channel where we watch anime and cover anime related news, and people are becoming more bonded with my personality. More people are watching me for me rather than, let's say, just for dan. And this is the thing that people can't figure out. A lot of reaction channels struggle because once a trend dies down, their viewership goes away because they don't understand what kind of audience were coming into their channel. Are they tourists? And if they are, can you then convert them into community members to make them watch you for you? That is such an important key aspect of content creation and surviving. How many times do you see channels that just comes out of nowhere, gets so many views and dies off immediately? It's because they don't have the fundamentals. They get carried by a trend and then boom, it's gone, they're dead. But my main channel, we're not dependent on anything. All we do is ask my community what y'all wanna watch. Then we do that. And I am very proud of my main channel and the community that I've created. I'm a little bit skeptical and worried about the current trajectory of my second channel. Ideally, after Shogun Steel, because it's a little bit more minute details here, but basically, Metal Saga was great. The next season of Beyblade we're about to watch is not as exciting, and the momentum that we built up might die off. And then there's another series called Burst Saga, which is going to last about a year's worth of content, where I am hoping is the bigger viewership is, because compared to Burst and Metal Saga and YouTube, Burst gets a lot more views. But you also have to think about, is the Metal Saga people that I've collected, are they going to enjoy, the Burst content? That's also another thing. Your Way does work. Neil started to do the same thing as well. I copied Neil. I copied Neil and the brothers Yo. They were reacting to so many old series that was not trending and not even, you know, focusing on weekly content. I was like, what the fuck is this happening? And then I studied that, and that's basically where the strategy came from. So no, they're not copying me. I copied them. To look at some more analytics part, the viewership is great, the impression is great, right? Watch time is great. It's just, everything is great, right? We continuously grow, and it's fucking, we're just killing it. In terms of also the money being made, here's a very interesting thing. The Beyblade channel makes way more money per average video, right? Let's look at this video. This video, 11.5K, $59. The RPM is so much higher. Remember what the RPM is in my performance review videos? RPM is the amount of money you make per 1,000 views. And RPM is dependent on the demographic of your audience and how long they watch the content for. Because there is a much more English-speaking audience, heavily focused on the United States, because of the nature of the English dub. And because the English-speaking audience makes the currency is way higher, I make more money off of Beyblade videos. I don't make the same on my main channel, bro. My main channel doesn't come fucking close. They're like, each video that I pump out, like, bro, the RPM is so fucking high because, again, the nature of an English-speaking dominated audience. My main channel, and listen, I'm very happy. I am very glad, and let me bring this over here, and I'll show you my main channel shit. I'm very glad of the audience that I procured in my main channel, right? I'm very what's the word? Grateful that a lot of people from specifically Southeast Asia watch me. But I want you to notice the difference here between what I just showed you for the second channel. So this is the main channel content. And you'll realize that a lot of people are not from United States. There's a lot more people, you see how there's a much more different breakdown of United States focus. And because of that, there's these regions where the RPM gets a lot lower. If we look at a video that got 10K views recently, right? Let's look at this, right? So if we're gonna compare like a video that got roughly 10K views, let's compare it again, right? 10K views was roughly like what? Like $50 or some shit? Let's find one that's kind of close to that and try to check out like what it is, right? 11K views, maybe this is good, right? Let's check out like, I don't know, the this one, and I don't know, fucking this one, just randomly. Let's see how much money these videos make. Not even the same, right? You see that shit? You see that shit? $20. See how it's almost half? Right? Look at the revenue. RPM 221. RPM 189. Do you see how this works? The Beyblade channel is absolutely killing it. Because of the recommendation system being so skewed to only one topic, and because the nature of an English dub that promotes an English dominant audience, that's why the money is way more greater on the Beyblade channel. So, at the end of the day, I guess English dub really is superior, huh? English dub superior to sub, confirmed. Well, in terms of anime, obviously I prefer the subs, but it's funny that in the game of YouTube, understanding the demographic, that due to the nature of English dub, and you know, it just gets way more English speaking audience from America, therefore the numbers goes up. It's very fascinating, but I just wanted to show you guys the, you know, differences. And I'm gonna make another separate video for my second channel where I'll do like a performance review too. But that's pretty much it. I think the key takeaways for this is understanding how to utilize the recommendation system. That if you focus on one specific thing, you will pop off so much easier because it's so easy for the algorithm to know who to send your videos out to. But the more you diversify your content, the harder it is for the algorithm to know who your audience is because you're splitting the audience. There's so many different people coming in. But even though the horizontal scaling aspect here seems bad in terms of, you know, not getting the reach of like a vertical scaling channel, know that there's other pros. You can survive for longer. You're not dependent on one specific thing. It becomes a variety channel that goes long lasting. And you can keep pumping out content. While a vertical channel, because you're dependent on one specific thing, you can't pump out that volume. You are beholden to one specific topic. And what happens after that, right? Only one way to find out. Hopefully you guys learned some shit, and go check out the Beyblade channel if you haven't. And I have this in mind. What the fuck? What is this? Kaka TV3. While the channel may not exist right now, I'm gonna create a third channel, probably. And we're only gonna do Beyblade reactions. Sorry, Black Clover reactions. When Black Clover newest season gets announced, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do every Black Clover opening reaction. I'm gonna go fucking crazy with it, right? Again, the strategy is the same thing. I'm gonna lead in with just the opening reaction for a very highly appealing show. Just like this. And once we get into that algorithm, boom, we will only cover Battle Shonen on the third channel. No promises, but I think in 2025, I might do something like that.